Look around for a second and ask yourself this question honestly. Why does it feel like your money doesn't go as far as it used to? Even though you're working just as hard, maybe harder than before, you didn't suddenly become bad with money. You didn't start wasting it. Yet somehow, the same amount in your bank account buys less food, less fuel, less comfort, and less security every single year. There is a quiet force working against you. One that doesn't break into your house or empty your wallet overnight, but slowly drains value from everything you earn. It's invisible, it's legal, and most people don't notice it until the damage is already done. This is the silent thief that steals from you while you sleep, while you work, and even while you save, and if you don't understand it, you will keep losing without ever knowing why. This force is called inflation, and despite how complicated it sounds, its effect on your life is brutally simple. Inflation means that money loses its purchasing power over time, so the same currency that once felt solid and reliable quietly weakens year after year. That's why prices rise, not because businesses are greedy or because you're imagining things, but because the value of money itself is shrinking. The real danger is that inflation doesn't announce itself. It hides behind small price increases, subscription hikes, and adjusted costs that feel harmless in isolation. Meanwhile, your salary struggles to keep up, your savings sit still, and your future becomes more expensive without your permission. In this video, we're going to expose how inflation is quietly stealing your money, why saving alone is no longer enough, and what you must understand if you want to stop running in place while the system moves ahead without you. Inflation acts like an invisible tax that you never agreed to pay, yet it takes from you every single day. No government bill arrives at your door, no warning pops up on your phone, but slowly and consistently, your money loses strength. Groceries cost a little more this month than last. Rent rises without improving your living conditions. Fuel, school fees, medical bills, everything inches upward while your income struggles to follow. Individually, these increases seem small and manageable, but together they reshape your entire life. What once felt affordable becomes stressful. What once felt stable starts to feel fragile. This is how inflation quietly rewrites your lifestyle without asking permission, forcing you to work more just to maintain the same standard of living. Over time, it doesn't just steal money, it steals time, peace of mind, and choices, making survival more expensive while calling it normal. For decades, we were taught that saving money was the responsible thing to do. Put cash in the bank, avoid risk, and you'll be secure. But inflation changed the rules while most people were still playing the old game. When inflation rises faster than bank interest, your savings are not growing, they're shrinking in real value. The number on your screen might look the same or slightly higher, but what that money can actually buy is less than before. This creates a painful illusion of safety. You feel disciplined for saving, yet year after year, your purchasing power erodes. Hard-earned money quietly loses strength just by sitting still. The tragedy is that people blame themselves for falling behind, not realizing that the system is designed to punish inactivity in a world where money constantly weakens. Inflation doesn't affect everyone equally, and this is where the imbalance becomes clear. Those who rely only on salaries and savings feel the pressure immediately, while those who own assets often benefit. Assets like businesses, property, and investments tend to rise with inflation, protecting or even increasing wealth. Meanwhile, people holding cash watch its value fade. This is why the rich often appear to grow richer during inflationary periods while the poor and middle class struggle more than ever. Debt also works differently depending on who holds it. When used strategically, inflation can reduce the real burden of debt over time. The system rewards those who understand these dynamics and punishes those who don't, widening the gap and turning financial ignorance into a lifelong disadvantage. On top of inflation itself, there's a psychological trap that keeps people stuck. As prices rise, lifestyles quietly adjust. Small expenses become routine and higher costs get normalized. People start blaming themselves for not budgeting harder or working longer hours, instead of questioning the environment they're in. Fear of risk keeps them clinging to familiar habits, even when those habits are slowly failing them. Comfort becomes dangerous. The longer someone avoids learning how money really works, the more inflation eats away at their future. This mental blind spot is powerful because it keeps people busy surviving, not thinking strategically. Inflation thrives on distraction, and most people are too exhausted trying to keep up to notice what's really happening. Stopping inflation from destroying your money doesn't start with chasing quick wins or miracle investments. It starts with understanding that saving alone is no longer enough. The goal shifts from simply storing money to protecting purchasing power. This means focusing on assets, skills, and income streams that can grow or adapt as prices rise. Financial education becomes more important than working harder, because effort without strategy leads to exhaustion, not progress. Once you understand inflation, you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start thinking like a planner. Inflation may be silent, but awareness is loud, and the moment you truly understand how money loses value, you give yourself the power to stop bleeding quietly and start moving forward intentionally. Inflation is not loud, dramatic, or obvious, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous. It doesn't crash your life overnight. It slowly squeezes you year after year until comfort turns into stress and stability turns into uncertainty. Most people never realize what's happening, so they work harder, save more, and still feel like they're falling behind. But once you understand inflation, you stop blaming yourself and start seeing the game clearly. Doing nothing is still a decision, and in an inflationary world, it's the most expensive one you can make. You don't need to panic, but you do need awareness, because money rewards those who adapt, not those who stay comfortable. Inflation may be quietly stealing from millions, but it only wins if you stay unaware. Now that you see it, the choice is yours to keep losing silently or to start protecting your future with intention and clarity.